with that. So welcome everyone to the wonderful webinar, Webinar Tuesday, if you will. My name is Missy Stutzman-Fox, and I am the Director of Entrepreneurship and Small Business here at the Institute for Veterans and Military Families. So today I'm going to put a few things, just housekeeping, right before we get kicked off, and then we're going to go into why we gathered you all here today. And we're going to hear from a couple of our partner organizations as to why they're here too. And then from there, because I don't like talking at people just for hours straight, because that's never fun, we're going to turn it over to y'all for questions, thoughts, or anything that you have to share with our presenters. You can use, we have the chat function that you can use for questions. You can also raise your hand and we can take you off mute and you can ask a question too. So there's that. Reminder, this is being recorded, so you will get sent the recorded session afterwards, after this webinar concludes. And with that, let's jump into it real quick. So as mentioned, my name is Missy Stutzman-Fox. I'm with the Institute for Veterans and Military Families. I know a lot of y'all are very familiar with what the IVMF is and who we are and why, because I recognize your names from programs. So that said, if you're not familiar with us and you just signed on for a webinar because you're like, this is how I want to spend my lunch hour, do we still have a program for you or what? So the IVMF is actually set up with 4 main pillars. And I would encourage you to get to know us. So, and first of all, I need to make a disclosure. I did some home renovation this weekend, so I have paint all over my hands. It might be distracting, but I just needed to get it out there just in front of it, just in case you're wondering what the heck is going on. But that's what the heck is going on. So IVMF is made up of 4 pillars that have served over 170,000 veterans to date. Those 4 pillars are our amazing career prep and transition program with Onward to Opportunity, where you can actually enroll in one of over 40 now, I think, learning pathways to get the career credential that you need to move your career forward. What is a career credential, you might ask? You know those P&Ps that people pay hundreds of dollars to sit through a class and then even more to sit through the actual certification? We have a program for that. And not only is it free, it doesn't take any of your GI Bill. We will also pay for your certification at the end. So that's a super fun thing you should check out. We also have our amazing America Serves network that's in 18 communities nationwide that has actually served over 100,000 requests. That, much like Community Navigator, is a network of organizations that are helping veterans and military connected individuals get to the right resource in the least amount of time. And then of course, we have our amazing research, measurement, and evaluation team. They are the data divas of the space. They know more about decision level data and the studies and what are affecting the veteran population than a lot of people in this space. And so if you really check out their research, or if you have questions about job portability, military spouse hiring, they did a big racial equity survey recently with Blue Star families. You can just go to our website, ivmf.syr.edu, and check it all out there. All of the recent publications are there, as well as within our resource library. And of course, I would be remiss without saying that the coolest portfolio is, of course, the small business and entrepreneurship portfolio here at the IVMF, which consists of 11 national and international programs that really drive to meet entrepreneurs where they are at on their entrepreneurial journey. So what does that mean? It means that if you are just thinking about becoming an entrepreneur on up to, oh no, I have 5 employees and won another contract, and now I have a whole host of other problems, we have a program that you can take advantage of no matter where you are. And you can go to more than one of those programs. So I see a lot of recent VUI's Phoenix grads here. Hello and welcome. You can still continue to use hashtag VUI's Phoenix if you want. And we will also still remind you to take surveys, which will be sent right after this, because we all know I love them. But you can take it, you can go through VUI's, then you can go through EBV, then you can go through EBVA. I think I saw Chad Drummond on here. So we have all of those grads. So make sure that you leverage us that way. But I think one of the most exciting developments that we've had recently, well, is really twofold, and we have people that can speak to both on this call. Recently, the Institute, after long doing this work with America Serves and our community work there and our entrepreneurship program and the 11 programs that we've built there, we were awarded the Community Navigator Pilot Program Grant from the Small Business Administration, which is a large grant that is really at the heart of it created to get entrepreneurs to the right resource in the least amount of time, which sounds a lot like America Serves. So thank goodness we've been doing this work and have already served 100,000 through that, because now we get to be joined by 16 of our new and longtime friends to do just that within 6 networks across the nation. So we're working in the DC capital area, we're working in Texas, we're working in Florida, we're working in New York, we're working in Pennsylvania, we're working in West Virginia. So, but we have 16 spokes across the nation that are ready to work with you. Now, there's a few of you that are saying, you just named 6 areas and I don't live in a single one of those. No wrong door here at the IVMF. So you can still sign up and go through the Community Navigator, because a lot of our partners are nationwide. So just because you don't reside in that area, we still have a program for you. And you're going to hear from each of our friends a little bit later so that you can kind of understand what are the types of services that you're doing. You just said 16 spokes, 5 areas. How does this apply to me? What does this mean? But it really means this. I know a lot of you have long suffered from going to one spoke and saying, I need help with my business plan. And then they refer you somewhere else. And then you get referred somewhere else. And then you get referred somewhere else. And it's up to you to chase it all down. With the Community Navigator, what we're doing is creating an already connected ecosystem so that if you're working with HCC through their Strive program to get your business together and you realize that you might need lending services, then we already have a warm handoff straight to a group like Pursuit or someone else that can then say, you know what, we'll work with you on that. And then maybe you need a CPA or you need advice on government contracting. We have great partners with NVSBC and others that, you know what, you can just take your little packaged up application that we already will have in our Salesforce and pop right over there. The whole idea is that entrepreneurs should spend their time working on their business and not having to track all of this down. So that is the entire idea around Community Navigator. And frankly, after being in the space for well over a decade, it's one of the first funding mechanisms that I have ever seen that really funds that connectivity, not the, build it on your own or replicate it, but that connectivity so that all these groups can go to their first best use. So as mentioned, we applied for it and were awarded as one of 8 other tier 1s. And so now we're hosting some informational sessions so that you know how you can leverage it and you know how to tell your friends how to leverage that. So with that said, again, please check out IVMF's website. You can learn more information about it there. You can learn about all those other programs that I've mentioned, and you can learn about where you can go to go ahead and fill out an info form for the Community Navigator as soon as that's live. But with that, I've done a lot of talking at the top of this. I know we're already at 1:08, so I'm going to pass it off to people that can do even more talking. Next, what you'll hear is from our 3 spokes. So you're going to hear from Hillsborough Community College, that has been a great partner of ours and has helped us really scale out our Strive program, which you'll hear about in a second. Then you're going to hear from Dog Tag. There's not enough I could say about Dog Tag. We've worked with them for years, informally, formally, because we just wanted to. They're expanding now from DC to Chicago. So that's phenomenal to hear about. So we'll hear more about that. And then you're going to hear about Pursuit. And we're hoping that there might be a guest appearance, more on that later. But you're going to hear about them, business lender, SBA lender out of Albany. So they get to experience weather just like ours. So with that said, over to the HCC team.
All right, well, Beth, you want to start?
Go on ahead, Andy.
Okay. Deshaun, did you want to start?
No, by all means, it's all yours, Andy. I'll wave you down if we need to say anything. We got you.
Okay, I'll make my part brief. First of all, I want to thank IVMF and all of the spokes and all of you who've joined in on this call to learn more about the work that we're engaged in. We're really excited and fortunate to be a small part of this Community Navigator initiative. We're serving as a spoke to IVMF. My name is Andy. I work at a large state community college in Tampa, Florida called Hillsborough Community College. We serve about 46,000 students, including probably a little over 3,000 veterans at our college. We're located near MacDill Air Force Base, so there's a lot of synergy there as well. I'll just kick off by saying that the Strive program, which is something we co-created with IVMF, is a training program designed for very, very early stage veterans and family members to take action on a business idea. It's a 6-week program, very intensive, but we've had some great results. We've had about 4 cohorts so far between our institution and the second Strive school, which is East Tennessee State University. And now we've begun, as Misty alluded to, scale Strive nationally. So we're now at 5 community colleges and 1 university from Hawaii to Tampa. And we're really looking to grow Strive beyond that over the next 4 to 5 years. So I think we could really help somebody that's early stage, even if they can't attend a Strive training. You can certainly lean on us for any kind of resource or assistance that we might be able to provide. I'll flip it over to my colleague Beth to talk about another service that we're developing for IVMF, which is our mentoring program. And then maybe Deshawn, you can talk about the Veteran Symposium. Maybe that's a good way to break things down. So thanks so much. I'm happy and excited to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Andy. And for Andy, that was very pithy. Nice work. Yeah, see, Misty's happy. I'm just gonna, before I go into the mentoring, I do want to talk a little bit more about Strive, because I know when I was at VWise, there was a lot of interest in this particular program. So it is broken down into 3 different phases. Phase 1 being online for about a week, and then phase 2, we do meet in person for I think it's almost 8 weeks. It's 8 sessions, 6 weeks, 8 sessions, and then at in the last component of Strive is the mentoring. And what we're working on through this particular grant with the Community Navigator is developing what we call mentoring by the numbers. This is a very impactful way for our mentors to engage with these newly found businesses. Strive does concentrate mainly on concept stage to very early stage startups, and do require very intensive mentoring. So we are developing a train the trainer type of curriculum for volunteer mentors to go through to mentor by the numbers. So in a nutshell, what that means is when a business comes in to meet with us, instead of talking about all the exciting things that are happening, like I got on the news, or I don't know, I'm running a sale next week, we concentrate on how much have you sold? What are your revenues this particular month? What are they compared to a month before if you're in business a year ago, maybe a year ago, and making decisions based on the numbers. And we found that through COVID, the success of us mentoring this way was quite high. All of the students that we worked with, both that came through Strive and through our academic program, their businesses persisted through Strive, through COVID, which was a really important point for us. So when we approached IVMF as taking this on as part of this rollout, they met with positivity with that idea. And then the last thing with HCC is our Veterans Entrepreneurship Training Symposium, and we will let Deshawn take that one.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate it. I do want to start by saying that my name is Deshawn Hines. I am the project manager here for the InLab, and I was a student at one of the very first certification programs that Andy and Beth had taught here at HCC, and back in 2013, and they have been dedicated to serving our veterans, at least far beyond that, but at least as long as I've known them. But the Veteran Entrepreneurship Program Symposium that we have is one of the veteran-inspired initiatives that was created, and it's an event that happens every November. And this will be the 10th annual one, to where we focus on providing workshops and resources to our veterans and active duty service members, their dependents, and even civilians can come in and join as well, to where they can learn about things like franchising, how to use social media, how to start up a company, like a brief on the turn on how to do that. But also there's a pitch competition that allows veterans or dependents or those who have a veteran partner in their company to be able to pitch and present to potentially win cash prizes. This is one of the great initiatives that we have here at Hillsborough Community College. And one of the things that we're trying to do is we want to inspire and help our vetrepreneurs, is what we call them, and social entrepreneurs to work together to transform our community to one social business at a time. So that's just one of the few things that we offer, along with co-working spaces and a plethora of other resources and initiatives to help out our veterans independents.
Fantastic, Deshaun. I just wanted to add one thing to all of our stuff, because that's how we do things. We have so much we're offering. But I'll just say real quickly that the Strive program, I saw a question, how is it different from Spark? So I just wanted to address that. First of all, let's just say Spark is an amazing program initiative, but it is 100% online, that program. We kind of identified a gap in the market where EBV and Spark, which is online, EBV, you physically have to travel to one of the EBV site locations for about 7 or 8 days or 6 days, depending upon how it's facilitated. But then there's a lot of veterans that we encountered that couldn't afford to leave their job for 6 days and travel to a university and leave their families. So that's what kind of where Strive comes in, to fill that gap and provide educational resources to those veterans that are tethered more so to a local community. So that's one way it's different from Spark. Another way is it's more of a formal training. Spark has some live, expert sessions that you can talk with people about, but we have kind of like ongoing class time and experiential learning in real time with our participants. So hopefully that helps to differentiate Strive from Spark.
Yeah, and I'll just pop in right before we pop over to dog tag, it looks like. And obviously there's going to be some great questions at the end too, where we can ask about these programs. Here's the idea. So you just heard of a whole bunch of things that HEC does, from their events to Strive and things like that. And this whole idea behind Community Navigator is, a lot of y'all, like I said, just came through VY's Phoenix. And so now if you're thinking, okay, what's next? What do I do? You'd have to go back out there and search. In this regard, you can actually be formally recommended to go over to another resource, another program, or to say, you know what, now that you've been through this, maybe dog tag's the next best step for you. And you can actually formally get pushed over there, so that, again, just less of the onus is on the entrepreneur and more of the onus is on how does this ecosystem work better together to support you through your journey. And that's that whole idea. So with that, we have a way different model and another phenomenal model that has been tried and trusted and now true, and someone that we've worked with for a long time. I'm going to pass it over to Dog Tag to tell us this is what we do, and this is the type of thing that you could also go through with this Community Navigator.
Thanks, Misty. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jamie Feeman. I am excited to be presenting on behalf of Dog Tag today. A big thank you to the entire IVMF team. Like Andy had started, we are so excited and grateful to be part of this program. Hearing even what HEC continues to offer, it just feels like such a strong collaboration opportunity. And like Misty was mentioning, really excited to really enhance how individuals who need support, need education tools, resources, can move between all of the partners here. Before I dive into what Dog Tag will be offering as part of this pilot program, I wanted to provide a little bit of context to our main focus. Dog Tag hosts a 5-month fellowship program for veterans with service-connected disabilities, military spouses, and military caregivers. This entrepreneurship-focused program allows our participants to find renewed purpose and community through a resilience-based framework. So we are currently actually piloting our 2nd location as of right now. So we run our program out of Washington, D.C., thank you, and Chicago, Illinois. And this 5-month program allows fellows in both of these cities to attend coursework through 2 different universities. Our fellows are currently studying at Georgetown University and Loyola University in Chicago. They participate in a what essentially you could consider almost a mini MBA curriculum. So they are studying, getting a really strong academic foundation. They then apply all this learning to hands-on experience at the bakery. We have a really strong experiential learning connection with what our fellows are learning in class and then seeing in real life. So this is where the magic of dog tag starts to kick in. Our fellows are able to understand the ins and outs of running a small business. They study accounting and then are able to see how accounting is applied at dog tag. In this virtual environment and in this moment of growth for dog tag, our fellows are actually working on case studies. So focusing on real world business opportunities and challenges that dog tag is currently facing and working with the dog tag staff to understand how a small business would approach, design, and then push through that opportunity. In addition to all this coursework and learning, dog tag fellows also connect with a wide network of individuals focused on personal and professional development. So they had the chance to meet with over 100 different individuals across many different industries. Everyone from what does the path in corporate America look like, listening to stories of small business owners, hearing from some of the entrepreneurship ventures of alumni and others in our space, but really creating just a strong network to help guide them as they figure out what their path is. In addition to all of this, one of the cornerstones of dog tag is our focus on wellness. Our program is a very strong, holistically minded program, realizing that throughout all of this, life is going on. So we connect our fellows with a variety of resources, fostering a sense of reflection, mindfulness, and well-being. We start our weeks with a well-being session on Monday mornings and end with a reflection on Thursday afternoons. I see already a variety of questions, so I'm eager to get to them, but I will make sure to answer them probably after finishing the overview. What we're really excited about for this SBI Community Navigator pilot program is the chance, not only if we have any interested individual who wants a more extensive program, we can use this referral network to help potential applicants apply for our fellowship program. However, we have a really unique opportunity and one that we are in the process of developing, of taking dog tag's proven methodology, of taking our really strong and robust network, the continued opportunities that we can provide, especially once a fellow becomes an alum, and starting to host IBMF specific community navigator webinars, trainings, moments of continued education. Especially in this virtual, soon to be hopefully hybrid world, we had the chance to connect different network opportunities, different educational moments for those who are in the path of entrepreneurship, but needing additional resources or tools or learning. We can connect them with dog tag's proven methodology, our proven experience, but also our really robust network of different experts in the area. So what we're really excited about is to be able to develop a curated curriculum for this opportunity, focused on the needs of entrepreneurs and what we can provide them to help them take that next step forward. I'm going to pause here and really test my Zoom skills to see if I can quickly pull up a question or two, because I think I saw one or two about dog tag.
Is it good for tech startups? And this is generally a lot of praise. So is it good for tech startups?
Carla, I love that question about tech startups. Dog tag doesn't have a tech focus. However, I would definitely love to connect with you after this to discuss it further. We have had alumni have success in all areas and across all industries. I actually am really excited to see an alum joining this call today too. And I know Betsy Eves can probably speak to her experience as a fellow and now an alum, but dog tag focuses on a wide approach to entrepreneurship rather than the targeted focus of just tech specific. I will say one final,
say final thing, yep.
One final thing, as dog tag continues to build out our offering for the Community Navigator pilot program, a strength of what we'll be able to offer is it reflects the true experiences and needs of entrepreneurs. We have served over 179 individuals through our program so far. We're able to take their experiences, their opportunities, their challenges, their successes, their moments of struggle, and take all that to better understand what is the true learning, what is the true education, what are the true resources that are helpful as someone is on that entrepreneurship path. I think this entire group knows that there's a lot out there. We're excited to be able to lean on dog tag's expertise on our ongoing model and be able to kind of curate what we're able to offer so it reflects current needs and not just a already kind of structured webinar schedule. So looking forward to connecting with you all on this.
So, and I'll say this too, I saw a question in there about, do I have to apply through Com Nav as well? No. So here's the beauty about Com Nav. If you find dog tag on your own or because of this webinar and you go to dog tag's website and you sign up for dog tag's program, and I should say this is the same for HCC, and you sign up for HCC program, you're good. Because then what happens is they're a part of Com Nav, meaning that they can act as navigators to say, I just had an awesome person, Jamie Brown. I just see your name in the chat, so I'm going to choose it. So Jamie Brown just came through dog tag. She's phenomenal. And just like we had last summer, ready for more in-depth for business, you know, training, maybe like more, just even more in-depth than what we just did for the past 6 months through dog tag. Then you could go over to EBV. And I saw you asked about Texas. At Texas A&M, we literally had someone do that this summer. They graduated from dog tag, left that, came down to College Station, went through the EBV program right there in College Station, Texas in July. So you can do all of that. And the whole idea is that these navigators then will help you say, here's the program. And look, we already have half your information. So it does make subsequent applications much easier for you as well. Because that's the whole idea, is that often folks were getting out of programs or using something like that and then saying, okay, what's next? And you'd have to start research all over again and then really trust that you found a good program that was worth your time. Because while a lot of these programs are no cost, meaning that you're not spending money, they're not free. Time is still a commodity and something that you have to wager in all of this. So I do say that it's a good way that we've already gone through and vetted out of these 40,000 VSOs and everything else. Here are some really good ones that you can work with. And the other item is we know that we can't be all things to all people. Meaning, you heard Dog Tag talk about all the webinars that they're going to start up and do. You heard Andy and Beth and Deshaun talk about, hey, we do 30 live webinars a month too, and other things, you know, that you can engage with. This is also so that we can pull it all into one area so that there's a calendar, so that if you're looking for how do I engage, what topics are coming up, really need to talk about something like that, how do I do something, you can do that. And the last thing I'll say before we pass it over to a lot of people's maybe favorite person on here, which is the money person, we're gonna, you know, I think the other item is it doesn't matter where you're at with your business. So if you're just thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, Community Navigator's for you, because it's going to help you navigate those startup resources so much easier. If you've already been in business for 10 years and you have 25 employees and you're looking at other resources, Community Navigator's for you, because we have some great advanced folks that can also work with you on not only funding, but government contracting. So I think that no matter what resource you're looking for, you'll be able to get a link if you've signed up for this later on that'll send you to a landing page where you can put in your information to get more information or to have someone reach out to you, or you can go to any of our spokes and learn more about them and go in that way. So again, no wrong door, you'll get the referral that you need, and it doesn't matter what stage of business you're at. So with that, I'm back to stop talking. I'm going to hand it over to Nicole at Pursuit to talk about what they do so you can get an idea of yet another resource that you could leverage through the Community Navigator.
Thanks so much, Misty. The information that's being passed is just amazing, and I'm so happy to be a part of this. I'm Nicole Scribner. I'm with Pursuit. If you're in New York, New Jersey, or Pennsylvania, you may have heard us as either the 504 Company or the New York Business Development Company. We rebranded 2 weeks before COVID, which was the greatest marketing thing that could have ever happened for us. We did 7,500 PPP loans. So people who never heard of NYBDC now know who Pursuit is. So it was just a blur, but it was also a very good experience. So Pursuit is primarily an SBA lender. If you think of it as two sides of the house, we have the side that does the fancy SBA loans, the 7A, the 504, the Community Advantage programs. And then on my side of the house, I'm with what's called Pursuit Community Finance, and we're actually a CDFI. That's a Community Development Financial Institution. So we are actually tasked with doing loans for businesses that can't get conventional bank financing. And we're funded through member banks, we're funded through grant programs. We get some of the craziest grants that, you know, if you're in a business in this county, and you're 27 and a half years old and your kid is 5 years old, we have a program for you. We had a conversation last week that we started with one program 7 years ago, and we now have 16 programs. So the most popular program that we have, though, is our veteran loan program. And that is the very first question that I ask when I'm working with an applicant. People come to me through the strangest channels, and that's all I ask, is that if somebody has a cash need, think of me. And I'll say, are you or anybody in your immediate family a veteran? And depending on what the answer is, you know, if it's no, I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. I guess we have to go over here. But if it's a yes, we have a program that is up to $100,000 at 5.75%. So in a world of PPP and various COVID programs with super low interest rates, people say 5.75, that's ridiculous. It's not, it's fabulous. Trust me, it's fabulous. But in addition to money, we also are tasked with education. So like a lot of you that offer program type things, we have a lot of off-the-shelf trainings that we do for folks. Once they become a loan recipient with us, they have access to all these other resources. The biggest thing that we see is financial literacy. People need help with balance sheets and profit and loss, and they don't know how to prepare taxes or how to structure their business or when they need to level up. So we have a lot of off-the-shelf offerings that are put together by experts. You know, we'll have a CPA that's connected to us do a series that we record as a webinar and then throw it out for the public. PursuitLending.com resources. There are probably hundreds of articles, maybe even hundreds of webinars now. And if there's a topic that you want, there's got to be a resource out there for it. I hear in the company there's a catalog of all of that somewhere. I don't know where it is. I have people. So I like to say that I am a kind of a conduit to bigger things. We do loans from $5,000 to $5 million. So if you are an existing business and you're not really sure what you need, it's just worth a conversation. You might think that you need, $100,000 to get this done, but we really look at your profile and look at what you have going on, and you might need a much larger loan extended out that gives you a better rate. So the information or the knowledge that we have on our team, I think about where my office is located, and there's a hallway with I think 6 lenders, and there's at least 150 years worth of experience down that hallway. So if you have a loan scenario, I'm sure we've seen it. And that's, they're my number one resource. I don't have all the answers. You come to me with a question, I can go down the hall. So there's a lot to our loan programs. And if you have any specific questions, I'll be happy to answer them. But if you want to set up a one-to-one after, we're only in New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, but we are connected to a lot of other lenders. So I can probably come up with a resource for a financial need pretty much anywhere across the country. I can dig in and find somebody.
And that's exactly it. So thank you for setting me up without even realizing, Nicole. Really appreciate you on that one. I didn't even have to that was easy. So you just heard her say it. She has connections too. These are 3 spokes. We have 16 that I just mentioned at the top of it. And I thought it'd be hard to go through all 16. But if you're looking for funding, you're in another state, we have other folks for you to work with through this Community Navigator. Not only that, but we can make external referrals. So for some reason you end up in Nicole's office and you're chatting with her about whatever you need, she can also externally refer you to a connection too. Again, this whole idea is that it takes the onus, while you still need to do your due diligence and understanding your business and things like that, it takes some of the onus off of you in terms of finding that next resource. We can get you there sooner, faster, and without kind of, all of the things that go into having to Google search and cold call, because we know that you have to do that enough as an entrepreneur. But like I mentioned, we have, and there's a couple of them that are on this call too that you can see in the chat, but St. Joseph's University that has long done our entrepreneurship bootcamp for veterans, but also has done the VEJ program. They're here, they're in Pennsylvania. So it's a more formal education program as well. We have the Military Spouse JD Network. So if you're looking for legal help, we've heard of a bail team, right? banker, accountant, insurance, lawyer, because you're supposed to be all besties with them already, especially if something like a pandemic happens and you need a PPP loan. But we have all of those mixed up in here, including our government contracting folks with NVSBC, and we have Bowers & Co. and other universities and other VBOCs that are here to help you. So again, no matter what your need is, I would then say, let's just go check Community Navigator, because at the end of the day, whether it's a webinar, a person, any other type of resource, we have something that you can then get to read or meet with so that you can get the help that you need in all this. And I think another point is a lot of this too can help you with kind of offsetting some costs. So we have folks like CPAs that have agreed to do a certain amount of hours with veteran-owned businesses for free through this program. So it really is a way that you can also start to look at, how do I put my dollars to their first best use and my time to their first best use too. So if you're an IBMF alumni on here and you're saying, I just go to Elvis for everything, that's fine. Still go to Elvis. He'll help you get into Community Navigator. Let's not change too many things at once. But if you're brand new to this group, please make sure to not only still hang out with Elvis, because he will be your best friend, but to also check out the Community Navigator link that will get sent out to you in an email, so that you can make sure that you're just using this resource how it's intended to help get you to the best resource in the least amount of time and with the least amount of headaches, because we know that there's enough to worry about in the current world that we live in. So with that, I'd like to say, first of all, thank you to all our panelists. And do we have any questions from anyone in the audience?
I have a quick one. Can you hear me?
We sure can, Sky.
Okay, great, because I was getting ready to type it, but I figured I might as well seize this opportunity. So I'm on the website right now, sifting through dog tag, and it seems like it's geared more for the people going into the baking industry. And I know I saw something in the chat that said it's for everyone, because somebody mentioned tech, but I'm just trying to, there's a lot of information. I appreciate that, but I'm still trying to narrow it down and figure out how, which one is best for me. So what other, and I'll just put it out there. So I'm interested in the film production industry. So how does any of this apply to me?
Jamie, I'll let you take dog tag and then I can go for the rest of it.
I was about to say, I'd love to just help clarify a little bit about dog tag. On our website, you're right. You're able to see our gorgeous brick and mortar bakery. Our program, though, is not focused on just culinary or just skill sets that you need to go into that space. Instead, we actually use the bakery as a living business school. So you'll be able to apply any of the lessons learned that you are learning throughout that 5-month fellowship to really any step you take after graduation. We've had a lot of fellows successfully complete our program and then go into fields as wide as consulting, financial. We've had successful alums start baking in other culinary spaces, but primarily the focus of our educational program is really just on a foundation that you need to take those next steps in entrepreneurship.
Thank you.
And I would say this too, Sky. So if you're looking at it, again, you saw me say it, and Betsy will get to you next too. So you saw me say it at the beginning when I think it was, I think maybe Moira asked about this program or that program. Stack them, yo. That's why they're here. That is why they're here. We've made them in a continuum because we want you to keep coming back for continuous learning. And that's a whole thing. So like dog tag is great. Get in there. You can have that like live almost business plan working in front of you, case study right there. You can see how it applies to business. And then possibly, like I mentioned earlier, go to EBV. We have an EBV in UCLA and they actually have a great, movie film school. So that's a great one too, to then sit there and say, okay, I'm going to get the basics. I'm going to really see how this works. Now I'm going to take it and apply what I did and do a deeper dive with my business, more in the movie, but I'm going to go out to UCLA and you can use the Navigator to get there. And then from there, I now have more questions and I'm going to move over into this thing. And all while that's going on, I can be taking part, looking at the calendar to see what are the webinars and the learnings that exist or that are coming up that I can also use in all of this. So that's why it's there. It is not a one and done. Please stack these resources, because I often feel like people think it's like, I can take one piece of the pie when there's a whole pie that's going to go to waste if you don't use it. So just take more pie. Betsy, over to you.
Jamie, I'm just going to add just a smidge because I can't help myself. So I'm an alum of the dog tag program. I'm a military spouse and caregiver. I went through it in 2016. So if you take me 5 years out from the program, but I'm still here sitting on this webinar learning about this new resource. So I have my own business. I've been growing it since dog tag 5 years ago, but now I'm ready to go to the next step. But what are the resources available to me today? So that's how I'm looking at it as a consummate entrepreneur that has used a ton of these resources that you guys have been talking about, but I'm looking at new different ways to use them. Or how can I, like Misty said, stack them, right? So how can I, like I used dog tag 5 years ago, but hey, Community Navigator's coming out, like, let me jump on those resources because they're new to me. So, and to answer the person's questions about is the dog tag program for bakers, the great part about it is that you get to eat all the cookies you want and it smells really good every day you go in there, but it's not, the program itself is not about the food. The program itself is about learning how to be a self-sufficient entrepreneur, and they show you by, yeah, sometimes you're going to scoop a cookie, but when you work for a small business, everybody gets in on production, right? So it's those kind of tangible ways of thinking. So I hope that kind of gives you a little bit of perspective that the program isn't just about food, it's about everything with entrepreneurship. And it will, I'm 5 years later and still using the things I learned from these types of programs.
And I'd say this, last but not least on all of that, you know, some of y'all are sitting there going, well, super bummer, that's only in DC and Chicago, and I'd really like it in Oklahoma. I don't know why, but I'd like it in Oklahoma because I'm from there. But here's the deal. So we, like I said, we have 16 spokes, we have friends in all sorts of places, right? So if there is, I'm not going to say if there's a similar program because these programs are specialized for a reason, but if there's a program that is complementary that can get you the resources that you need, we have a phenomenal enrollment team here at the IVMF that knows a lot about the different programs and also knows a lot about, you know, Community Navigator and is getting briefed up every day, as well as our Community Navigator program manager that will be joining soon. And that can also help you get to that resource. Meaning, if for some reason this isn't the right fit in terms of timing or where it is or anything like that, how can we make sure that you get into a learning program? We have people on our team. I see Linda Nellis is on this call that will be able to pick up the phone, have a conversation with you, understand what your goals are, understand your left and right parameters around this is where I can travel, how long I can travel, how I take in information, et cetera. And they can make the best decision with you for where you can kind of start your journey, because we know that it's just that it's a journey. It's not a snapshot. It's not just this one thing that happens in time. It's something that does change over time. So we have an awesome team that will be there that's on that page that you can contact and say, how do I get in there and how do I start? Because, you know, it just really helps you as you move forward. So I also see, does Com Nav offer you a mentor at the beginning? So yes, so you can sign up for mentorship as well. So that's another part of this, is that a lot of our partners, you heard Beth kind of talk about it at the beginning, are creating or have created great mentoring programs or have access to folks that can work with you on your business. So that's absolutely something that you'll be able to take advantage of and go in there. And then I just saw that Mai put in their IVMF enrollment services. That's another one. So if you don't already have Elvis saved in your phone as your emergency contact, you can go ahead and save our enrollment team in there. I'm kidding, don't save them as your emergency contact, please. But you can save them as a person that you're going to call for when you have a question about your business, so that you can go in there and figure out what's available to you, not only in your area, but where else. And I think the other part of that is don't be scared. Some of these programs might exist in a state. So let's take an EBV, for example, or a VWise or something like that. You might get on and see like, oh, EBV Texas. It's in Texas, but guess what? We've had people from Japan go to EBV Texas because you can travel nationwide. So there's exceptions like that too, where no matter where you are, we probably have a program for that. Any other questions? Okay, y'all. So here's what we got going then. First of all, thank you very much to our panelists. Round of applause to them. If you know how to react, it's down there. You can just hit reactions and you can snaps and a round of applause too. Thank you so much for showing us an idea of what we can do with our See, Chad gets it more, he gets it. What we can do with our community navigator. As mentioned, we have 16 spokes. So what you're going to get from this is an email that will have we'll have the recording. You can go ahead and see all of that information. You saw some contact information in the chat, but we will make sure that we have contact information in that email too, so that you can go ahead and get in touch with whoever you need to. And then also we will be making sure that you get the link as soon as it's live, so that you can go ahead and apply towards the community navigator. And Chad, to your question, you'll be hearing about that soon. It's coming. So with all of that,
Misty, can I just give a quick shout out to Robin Grable? I saw that she was on here from Veterans Ascend. I just want to alert everybody to the work that Robin does. It's amazing. She does workshops for us. She's a huge champion of our efforts. And I saw her name in the list. I was like, I got to give her a shout out there. So, hey, Robin, good to see you.
And as mentioned, we know everyone. So there's the other thing. So if you go into Community Navigator, you can get connected to people like Robin from Veterans Ascend. I don't know how else to end it, but that's exactly what it's here for. Right resource, least amount of time, least headache, work on your business. Don't work on finding the resource. We got that part of you. So thank you everyone for joining us today. We really appreciate your time. Thank you to our panelists, and thank you to all the team at the IVMF for all the behind the scenes work on it. Until we meet again, we'll see you. Thanks, guys.